Hi, this is Donna Wilson, or Wistful, from New Zealand. It's been a rough time welcome to my channel on Crossstitch, and I'm here in New Zealand, and after this yesterday, it's very sobering for most of us here in New Zealand after the terrorist attack, which most of you have heard about, but 49 dead at this stage in two sites on a mosque, and that's not what New Zealand's about at all. It's usually a very peaceful country and a very nice country, and I love it dearly. So it's been a bit upsetting to most of the people here in New Zealand. Anyway, this is about cross-stitch, so that's enough on that. We're all working through it here in New Zealand, but we're getting there. So I'll just start straight in with some of the cross-stitch stuff that I've done. It's a bit of an update for us. We've got, I'm still working on my Design Works one, Adirondack Lodge, and it's coming on fairly good. I tend to go a bit fast, mainly because it takes me a couple hours to upload it. It's got to be pinned together, must not pin my pieces together. Anyway, I've made a bit of progress with it. I was on the deer, one of the deers last time, down here in this corner. So I've done a wee bit more and just about completed a tree. So this one was one that I do thinking of my dad, who died years ago. So he liked hunting and fishing and all that rot. So that's kind of fun. The next thing that I had is one of the projects that I've mostly been working at since I saw you. Sorry about the crackly. It's called Cerebracea, and I did happen to mention last time that one of the pains that I had was my watch. It's always catching on the threads. So I since discovered, God, it took me ages, that if I wrap up part of it in a tea towel in that section, it will work and do the same thing. So that's why I've wrapped a tea towel around it. And yes, I have tried grime guards, but this is so much fabric that it just is ridiculously large. So I've done quite a bit in this. This is the Cerebracea, in case you haven't seen it before. And it's by Hands Across the Sea. It's a love-hate. I love it because it is so beautiful, and hate it because it's taking me forever, and I just want to do other things sometimes. But when I sit down to work on it, it really is pleasurable. So I'm taking out all the clips and stuff that I've got. I used the quilt things to hold quilts together to put it together. So let's see, hopefully you can see how big it is. So I was working on the stag, and it's got a beautiful bower. So I'm using this for a lot of the bits, a lot of the homework challenges and extra credit assignments for School of Magical Stitches and Needlework, and so that's been quite handy. Like this week you had to do something in chocolate brown, and then you had to work on an animal with claws. So this is quite good for that, because even these birds up here had claws. And the stag is humongous. It's good. And the eyes, look at those eyes. They bug out at you. You don't get that very often. in needlework, where the eyes on a creature all bug out, but that one does. Anyway, so that's kind of fun. And then another one that asked for something that had a book in it. I kept thinking, well, where could I find a book? And that is this, which is Bothy, Kings and Queens. And one of the guys is carrying a book, so you only have to only has to have that in the design. So, ooh, that is showing rather nice. So I've working on these, and I'm enjoying these. The back stitching will take me a while. So sorry about that squeal. Husband's out watering the lawn, and he some of his grass, so the lawn. So he only turned it on so far, you know, just to make it squeal. So he stopped. It's still pretty dry here, but that's what we get sometimes. Then I have been working a lot on a year at Hawk Run Hollow, and this is a 12-parter, but I'm doing all of it. So I've done little bits and pieces. For one of the extra credit ones, I'm going to do globes. They asked for something like a fortune-telling globe, so I'm going to use the globes that are in here because they're like bubbles. Sounded good to me. And it got approved. Yay! So that was cool. And we had water things and all sorts of witches. I've made a lot of progress on this, so I'm quite pleased with it. It's been fun. And the people are ice skating. That's what I'm working on presently at the moment. And I'm pretty good with counting. You have to count the stitches. This is 500 stitches. So I lost count at one stage, and so I just got it down to the lowest bit and worked it up. So that's fun. Then I've got another set, Stitch Along, and it's this one, the Mystery Sampler, a Peacock's Garden by Linen and Threads. And that's January's first one. And it's a free sale that you can get on Facebook. And it's really fun. And people are just taking a bit of fabric that they have, and then they are just adding on, some are using just what they've got hanging around the stash, and others are just going wild. So I've got Sir James II, who I've named my peacock, and I've done a bit of the garden. I've done my peacock, and he came out quite nice, quite pleased with Sir James II, and named him after hubby. And the garden paths have come out quite nice. I have to continue them all the way around, but I've been busy with Cerebracea. So this is the March one up here, and it's quite pretty. So I'm going to do various colors in there. And this I'm trying to just use some of the leftover threads that I've got, and it's been quite fun. The pathway I had to go get because I didn't have enough variegated on that. And then I was going to do the stitch from stash, and I started out very, very good. And then I went and fell off the wagon because the Nashville market came up. And so I, before that, had already ordered some stuff that was with my budget. And I got, I don't know if I've shown this, hoity-toity. So I haven't started that yet, from Long Dog Samplers. And that one's been fun. It'd look better if I took the tape off it. And then there's quilts. I'm also a quilter, so I think that's neat. So it looks like they take similar colors. And then while I was at it, I looked around and I saw the Reassurance Cross from the Vickery collection. And I loved how that looked. And that I decided to do an Ada. And I took some of the stuff that I had and kept trying to keep to the budget. And I found some Ada. And that's my black. And I came out and did that the other day just with a bit of red. And that's close enough. And that'll do good for the background. So that I'll put to one side and start it. And then I got some mail the other day from Shakespeare's Peddler. And I got saved yours, please. It's beautiful. This is kittenstitchers.com or Teresa Vanette, who love her stuff. This is so neat. And it's got so many doodads in it. So many bits and pieces. It is absolutely beautiful. The birds on the trees and all sorts, and every time you look, it's got more and more. So I've got a bit more DMC. That came yesterday. So I was so pleased. Made me happy. And of course, you know the rule. They cannot, I'm going to do that on Newcastle linen 40 count. So that'll be another long project. But that looks like fun. And then no chart can travel alone. So, Hands Across the Sea has a new one. And I like the trees. I like these trees, and I like those trees. And that bush is okay. Yeah, sort of like it. And so this one's neat. It's Hands Across the Sea. And it's says, Remember Thy Creator. And so I've just started. I won't completely get this up yet because I will start this later. And I had some Newcastle Mocha 40 count. So that's going to be kitted up too. And then I've got 2 more orders coming. I'm terrible. So anyway, that's our news here from New Zealand. And hopefully things settle down quite a bit. They had the court hearing yesterday for that guy. Well, today. And so I'm certain I'll have more charges laid on him. Anyway, you all take care. Happy stitching. Enjoy it. And keep safe. Okay? Bye-bye. And kia kaha, which is saying, we say that for Christchurch. And that is one of the slogans from the New Zealand Maori Battalion. And it's Keep Strong at Christchurch. Anyway, happy stitching. Subscribe if you want. And enjoy. It's a good hobby. Okay? See ya. Bye.